when it comes to digital marketing, I keep hearing the rules at Google and Meta and other places are changing, that keywords are dead, and that neither company now provides the performance data that they used to give to show how they're performing. So my guest today is Udayan Bose, the founder and CEO of NetElixir, a digital marketing company. They are celebrating their 20th anniversary this year, so that is quite an accomplishment. And they've come up with a new way of incorporating AI into the digital marketing space. So whether you're in e-commerce or you have a Spotify account, these are the guys who can help guide you to have a successful digital marketing strategy. And even if you're a small business owner, they've got some very budget-friendly options as well. So Udayan, great to have you here. First of all, congratulations. You
Thank
must
you
have
very
seen a
much, Jane.
lot. I feel like
Thank you
20
very much.
years has been revolutionary in this space. So, and you were there early and have seen a lot of things happen over the past couple of decades.
Well, I know I'm significantly dating myself when I say 20 years, Jane, because 20 in our industry is probably like 100 in the traditional industry. So we have seen it all. Yes, have been around for a long time.
So what are you hearing from digital advertisers in the current marketplace?
I think there are three things which are very specifically coming out in the conversations. And we work with a fairly wide range of e-commerce businesses from B2B to B2C and retail, healthcare, and a wide range of verticals as well. I think the first thing which is coming out loud and clear is understandably a squeeze in the contribution margins. Specifically, I think on the retail e-commerce side, we know some aggressive competitors like the Temus and the Sheins have made pricing a very interesting proposition. And at the same time, the Google advertising costs have really gone up. Like our database shows about 22% inflation in Google cost per click or Google ad cost per click in the first 5 months of this year. So with a 22% higher cost of Google ads and the price, unfortunately, you can't really increase the prices because you have very aggressive competitors. Your contribution margins are getting squeezed, and that is particularly hurting businesses from categories or advertisers from categories like fashion, apparel, even beauty to an extent, and home goods, home furnishings, partially sporting goods, and so on. So a fairly wide range of verticals are essentially getting sort of hurt because of this.
Very interesting.
So that's, I think, one, the contribution margin squeeze. The second one also is people are still struggling with a little bit of what we tend to call, Jane, a black box concept. Since Google launched the module called Performance Max, it really yanked off a lot of those controls like deciding what keywords and changing those bids on a regular basis, etc., which the advertisers have been used to for the last 20 years almost, or 18 years almost. And companies are still struggling to settle in to that new environment whereby there is quite limited transparency when it comes to effectively understanding as to how to make your Google campaign work and so on. So these are, I think, two very broadly. The first one actually covers a couple of things as well, but these are the two broad challenges that we are seeing.
Now, I mentioned in the intro that you were incorporating AI into marketing.
Yeah.
Would that be a technology that would help with efficiency and then may help with some of these margin issues?
Great point, Shane. Actually, I think AI has been thrown around a lot. So I really wanted to dispel and just clarify some of the notions. I think the AI that we are talking about is more of machine learning, and that's more of a vertical AI, or let us say a niche AI chain. Niche AI essentially solves just one problem and does it better than anything else, and it uses your own data. So that's, I think, the key component. We call it the vertical AI, specialized AI, niche AI, whatever you want to call it, right? So we actually, in fact, today at our event, we are launching a product, more of our machine learning-driven platform, which just does one thing extremely well. It is able to utilize machine learning to identify your high-value customers. So higher as to who's likely to engage with your site and spend more with your site and so on. And then we are able to convert this data into audience signals that we are able to feed into Google and Meta and ask them to find lookalike customers as such. So it's almost like saying that we are making a big statement. Don't just try to build a business by acquiring any customer when machine learning can help you proactively and predictably acquire higher value customers. And you can really build a community of these high value customers, which which really significantly improves your customer mix, your return on investment goes up, and it becomes a lot more robust business that you are running as well.
Yeah, no, it really it makes it less commoditized and
That is correct. Yeah,
more more value for your dollar if you're
exactly.
looking for those
Exactly.
customers. So, and do you think we're just in the early stages of AI in terms of digital marketing?
We are very much in the early stages. Actually, in the performance marketing world, this probably would be the only one which is being used to acquire new customers. Now, there are a lot of AI technologies or machine learning technologies, primarily verticalized AI technologies, which are focused on customer retention. So how can you really retain the existing customer? How can you reduce the churn, etc.? And our technology does that. But I believe this would be the first instance where using this data as signals to identify lookalikes and acquire new customers who are of a certain type. It's almost like trying to really clone your high value customers in a very extended way so that you are able to build a much more robust business with the right type of customers as such.
Makes sense. And then you can target similar people and then maybe
Exactly.
totally makes sense.
Exactly.
Where do you see digital marketing going and what kind of tips would you give to particularly small businesses that want to digital market and maybe don't have the budget or don't know exactly how to allocate their dollars in the best way?
Well, I think three things that I really wanted to highlight. The first part is I really wanted everyone to be excited, Jen, because AI sometimes can look very overwhelming. But if you really start by following these three steps, AI probably is your best friend, and it's likely to be your best friend for the foreseeable future as such. I don't really see it going away anywhere. So the first part is just embracing AI, but embracing AI in a sense where it helps your business, not just being the lip service on this thing. Helps your business either in terms of doing more with less, which is the efficiency play, or you are using a vertical AI platform like what we have, LXRInsights, where you are improving performance as such. It should help your business. Otherwise, what's the point? And you can do that by embracing three things. The first part, you really have to understand that anyone who's selling anything online, Jane, it's basically a data business, and your customer data is the most valuable asset that you have. Really have a plan to secure that data, lock in the data, and really tap into maximizing as to what you can really derive from that data that you have, because that's your biggest asset. Period. I mean, every business in the e-commerce or online side is basically a data business. So that's, I think, the first part and the recommendation. So build your what is called the first party data, typically your own data as such. So first party data strategy in place, and just be very cognizant. Talk to consultants. NetElixir will be more than happy to really sort of advise you on that and all this stuff. The second part, which I think is important, just separate out strategy and tactics. When I say strategy and tactics, a lot of people, when I ask them as to how will you really grow your business X percentage, they say that we'll really advertise so much in Google and Meta and so on. You are missing a very important middle there. You have to make a choice as to what direction that your digital marketing to really go to, right? For example, do you want to increase your market share in Florida? Because then there is a different tactical mix which can really drive that. Or do you really want to go after a certain competitor and really grab market share from them? Because then there is a different channel mix and all that stuff. So I think be very cognizant as to how you decide on the strategy. And the third and the final part is it's all about the consumer, right? And it's our firm belief that probably the only way, I know I'm sort of making a very stark statement out there, probably the only way for you to compete with some of these large players and marketplaces which are hell-bent on commoditizing your business is really building your community of higher value customers. There is just no other way, right? Because you can't really be everything for everyone. You really have to really settle in and hone in on the type of customers that you really want to work with. These are the fans that you will really not leave your business, and they'll sort of keep on shopping with you. And these are the ones that you should really focus on. So these three things: be mindful of your first party data and really have really a data strategy to protect that and preserve that and really extract maximum value for your company from that. The second part, as I mentioned, again, not in the sequence as well, have your loyal customer base and really keep on growing that, because that's a very sustainable part of growing the business constantly. And the third, probably the second one that I mentioned, is strategy is not tactics. Do not confuse between strategy and tactics. Strategy is a choice that you are making. make that choice very cleverly, because that will really make a big impact for your business as such.
Well, Udayan, that is absolutely fascinating to hear about your experience and where you see things going. And congratulations on 20 years.
Thank you very much, Jane. Such a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on this. Thank you.